The first debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump was nothing less than a fiery showdown. Picture this: the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, serving as the battleground for these two political titans. From the get-go, the atmosphere was charged. Harris, the Democratic candidate, and Trump, the Republican contender, wasted no time in launching verbal missiles at each other. The debate was a heated exchange of sharp words and pointed accusations. It was clear that neither candidate was willing to pull their punches. Harris started off strong, framing her vision for an economy of opportunity, while accusing Trump of planning to cater to the rich and corporations with his tax policies. She even coined a term, Trump tax, which she claimed Americans would have to pay on their necessities if Trump were to assume power again. Trump, on the other hand, swiftly diverted attention to trade and immigration. He proudly spoke of the tariffs he would impose on other countries, specifically mentioning China, and the significant revenue these tariffs generated during his previous term. The clash didn't stop there. The conversation turned to Trump's previous policies, with Harris putting Trump on the defensive with her pointed critiques. In a debate that seemed more like a war of words, both candidates left no stone unturned in trying to outdo the other. On the economic front, Harris and Trump presented starkly contrasting views. Harris put forth her vision of an economy of opportunity, a plan that aims to bolster the financial standing of everyday Americans. She spoke of aiding the youth by shouldering the cost of housing construction, a move that could potentially usher in a new era of homeownership for younger generations. But her plan didn't stop there. However, Harris was quick to counter Trump's economic policies. She cited 16 Nobel Prize-winning economists who predicted an economic recession by the following year if Trump's policies were implemented. "Donald Trump has no plans for you. He's more interested in protecting himself than working for you," she cautioned. Trump, in his defense, asserted that his policies have been lauded as wonderful and good schemes by economists, a claim that stood in stark contrast to Harris's warning of a looming recession. While Harris warned of a potential economic recession under Trump, the former president touted his economic prowess, leaving voters to make the tough call. Harris didn't shy away from the controversial topics of Project 2025 and the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. The tension in the room was palpable as Harris seized the opportunity to call Trump out on two of the most contentious issues of our time. She began by criticizing Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, an event that has undeniably left its mark on every American. Harris argued that Trump's response to the crisis was far from adequate, suggesting that his actions, or lack thereof, contributed to the severity of the situation. But she didn't stop there. Harris also brought up the infamous Project 2025. For those unfamiliar, Project 2025 is a set of policy proposals drafted by conservatives with a view to a potential second Trump administration. These proposals have sparked numerous debates and controversies, with many viewing them as a direct challenge to the democratic principles of our nation. Harris accused Trump of having a hand in these proposals, implying that he had a role in their creation and their potential implementation. This accusation added fuel to the already burning fire, turning up the heat on Trump during the debate. In response to these allegations, Trump categorically denied any involvement with Project 2025. He stood firm in his denial, asserting that he had nothing to do with the controversial proposals. This denial, however, did little to quell the controversy. If anything, it only added another layer to it. Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and his alleged involvement in Project 2025 have become two of the most controversial topics in the lead-up to the election. As the debate continued, it became clear that these issues would not be easily resolved. In the face of Harris's accusations, Trump maintained his denial, adding another layer to the controversy. Abortion rights, a hot-button issue, was met with diverging viewpoints from Harris and Trump. Trump's stance on abortion rights has been a topic of contention. He claimed that Democrats, including Harris, support late-term abortions, even into the 9th month, a statement he labeled as radical. He pointed to Tim Walz, Harris's pick for vice president, as an advocate for such a stance. Trump touted his past efforts, stating he had helped return the decision-making on this contentious issue back to the states, and emphasized his belief in exemptions in cases of rape and adultery. On the other side of the aisle, Harris delivered a strong rebuttal. She highlighted her commitment to women's rights, a cornerstone of her campaign, and countered Trump's assertions. She spoke of her conversations with women across the country, putting a human face on this deeply personal issue. Harris's response underscored her belief in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body and her commitment to fight for these rights. The debate on abortion rights left a clear divide between the two candidates, marking it as a pivotal issue for voters. Harris didn't let the opportunity slip to bring up the Capitol Hill's riots, a topic that put Trump on the defensive. As the debate rolled on, Harris tossed a political hot potato into the mix, the infamous Capitol Hill riots. These tumultuous events of January 6th were a sore point for Trump, who had shown no remorse for the incident. Harris was not shy about reminding those watching and listening of the chaotic days that unfolded under Trump's watch. She painted a vivid picture, detailing the confusion and fear that gripped the nation. She brought to the fore Trump's demeanor during the attack on the U.S. Capitol building, emphasizing the strong criticism he received from officials within his own ranks. This was a bold move, an attempt to corner Trump and shed light on his actions, or lack thereof, during a pivotal moment in recent American history. Trump, for his part, maintained a defensive stance. He seemed cornered, unable to produce strong arguments against the accusations. His responses were not as robust as one might expect, especially on issues like inflation, migration, and the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. Throughout the debate, Harris managed to highlight Trump's weaknesses, pushing him further into a defensive posture. She was relentless in her pursuit, not giving Trump any room to breathe or retaliate. It was a strategic maneuver, one that appeared to put Trump on the back foot. By the end of the debate, it was clear that Harris had managed to keep Trump on the back foot, but the ultimate decision lies in the hands of the voters. While the debate was heated and filled with personal attacks, it may have provided some insight into the potential outcome of the election. The battleground states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin may very well decide the winner, as indicated by current polling averages. The debate touched on key issues like the economy, COVID-19, and abortion rights, which are likely to play a significant role in shaping voter preferences. Performance-wise, Kamala Harris seemed to have the upper hand, often putting Trump on the defensive. She emphasized the need for an economy of opportunity and criticized Trump's proposed tax cuts for the rich, while Trump focused on trade and immigration. Harris also raised concerns about Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and the controversial Project 2025. However, the reliability of the polls remains in question, as past elections have shown us that they can underestimate Trump's support. Additionally, Trump's strong rebuttals to Harris's claims, particularly on the economy, may have resonated with some voters. In the end, the impact of this debate on the election outcome is still uncertain. It's a tight race, and the candidates' performances in the upcoming debates could tip the scales. As the dust settles on this fiery debate, only time will tell who will have the last laugh in the race to the White House. So, what's your critique towards this 90 minutes debate?